Hello students, I am Prerna Seth. Today we will study about a very famous play. But before we start studying this play, let me ask you a question. Here is a picture. Do you recognize whose picture is this? Yes students, this is the picture of William Shakespeare, a very famous English poet and dramatist. Tell me about the name of his plays. Yes students, Julius Caesar, As You Like It, Romeo and Juliet. And today students, we will study about his famous play, The Merchant of Venice. The Merchant of Venice is a 16th century play written by William Shakespeare. I am telling you the gist of the play, in which a merchant of Venice, whose name is Antonio, defaults on a large loan provided by a Jewish moneylender, Shylock. Shylock hates Antonio because he is prejudiced. Shylock tells him that loan has to be repaid within 3 months, or Shylock will owe him a pound of flesh from his body. Meanwhile, Portia's father has a condition for all his suitors to his daughter's marriage. They have to choose from one of the 3 caskets that he has displayed. One has a portrait of her in it. If the suitor chooses the wrong casket, then he can never marry, and if he chooses the correct one, only then he can marry her. So students, meanwhile Bassanio, who is a friend of Antonio, wants to achieve Portia as his wife, and he is successful in getting Portia as his wife. Bassanio's friend Lorenzo elopes with Shylock's daughter, and Bassanio chooses the right casket with Portia's portrait in it. Portia agrees to marry him on the spot. Antonio's finances are in a bad way because his ships have been wrecked at sea, and he is afraid that he has no way to repay to Shylock. Here, Bassanio hears about Antonio's shipwreckment, and he leaves Portia behind in order to meet his friend. Portia is also interested in helping the friend of Bassanio. So, in the disguise of a lawyer, she appears in the court of law and appeals for mercy from Shylock. But Shylock is not ready. He wants his pound of flesh from Antonio's body. But when Portia appeals so much to Shylock and he is unable to listen to her, then Portia says that it is okay, you can take your pound of flesh from Antonio's body, but not a single drop of blood should be flown by you, as it has not been written in the bond. So, at last, Shylock loses his whole property, half to Venice and half to Antonio. And the property that has been given to Antonio, Antonio gives it back to Shylock only on this condition that if he is ready to accept his daughter again, then he will be able to return back his money. At the end, everybody is happy. So, students, this play has a happy ending for all the lovers, and everybody is happy. In this period, students, in this class, we are going to study about the characters and their traits, and we will study about the first act of the play. So students, let's come to the beautiful world of Shakespearean drama, The Merchant of Venice. The first character I am going to introduce you with is of Portia. She is the heroine of the play. She is the most beautifully drawn of all Shakespearean heroines, and the author has devoted all her fund of poetry and imagination in making this character lovable. She possesses in herself all the virtues. Fate has made her the heiress of countless wealth and pleasures. It is Portia who helps Antonio and saves him from Shylock. Portia is bound by a clause in her father's will that the suitor who wants to marry Portia should choose the correct casket. It is Bassanio who wins the hand of Portia. The next character I am going to introduce you with is Bassanio. As I have told you earlier that Bassanio is the lover of Portia. She loves Portia and wants to marry her. Bassanio is a Venetian gentleman who is in love with Portia, a wealthy, intelligent heiress of Belmont. In order to ask for her hand in marriage, Bassanio and his friend Antonio enters into an agreement with Shylock. With his intelligence, Antonio is able to win the hand of Portia. The next character is Antonio. Antonio is the title character of the play. He is powerful and wealthy nobleman of Venice. He is a middle-aged man and a merchant by trade. He is kind-hearted, honest and confident person, and he is loved by all the Christians except the Jew Shylock, as he lends money to people without interest. He is ready to sacrifice his life for his friend Bassanio is the manifestation of his character. The next character is Shylock. Shylock is the Venetian Jewish moneylender. He comes across as greedy, jealous and vengeful character. He may be referred as the villain in the play. He gets the bond signed by Antonio that if he fails to pay 3,000 ducats within 3 months, so he will be entitled to cut off a pound of Antonio's flesh. So students, you saw how shrewd he is. He is so vengeful person that he wants to take the life of Antonio. Next one is Nerissa. Nerissa is Portia's maid. She is her partner as well as her friend. She is always in full support of her mistress. She agrees to marry Gratiano on this condition that if Bassanio succeeds in the task of caskets, she will marry him. The next character is Gratiano. As I have already told you that Gratiano is the person who marries Nerissa. Gratiano is a friend of Bassanio and accompanies him to Belmont. He is a coarse, garrulous young man. While Bassanio courts Portia, Gratiano falls in love with her and eventually weds Portia's lady-in-waiting, Nerissa. The next character is Jessica. She is Shylock's daughter. Although she is Shylock's daughter, yet she hates her life in her father's house. She elopes with a young Christian gentleman, Lorenzo. Lorenzo is the friend of Antonio and Bassanio. The next character is Lorenzo. As I have already told you that he is the friend of Antonio Bassanio and he is in love with Shylock's daughter Jessica. He schemes to help Jessica escape from her father's house and he eventually elopes with her to Belmont. The next character is Celerino. Students, when we study the very first act of Merchant of Venice, we will find Celerino with Antonio. He is a Venetian gentleman and friend to Antonio, Bassanio and Lorenzo. Celerino escorts the newlyweds Jessica and Lorenzo to Belmont and returns with Bassanio and Gratiano for Antonio's trial. The next one is Solanio. He is also a Venetian gentleman and frequently he is the counterpart of Celerino. The next character is the Duke of Venice. He is the ruler of the Venice who presides over Antonio's trial. Although he is a powerful man, the Duke's estate is built on respect for the law, and he is unable to help Antonio. The next character we found, he is Lancelot Gogo. Earlier, he is the servant of Shylock. Later, he joins the service of Bassanio. He is a comical, clownish figure who is especially adept in making puns. Lancelot leaves Shylock's service in order to work for Bassanio. So, students, here is a king of Prince of Morocco. He is the suitor who wants to marry Portia. So, here are some main characters. Students, I will explain you about the relations that they have between them. Here is Antonio, who is the main character of the play. He has two main friends over here, Bassanio, Graziano and Lorenzo. And Bassanio is his best friend. Antonio helps Bassanio financially, and he takes loan from Shylock, who is a Jew. Bassanio is in love with Portia, who is the rich countess of Belmont, and Portia has a maid whose name is Nerissa. Antonio's friend Graziano also in love with Nerissa. So here we found two couples, Bassanio and Portia, and Graziano and Nerissa. Here we find that Shylock has a daughter, Jessica, and Antonio has also a friend whose name is Lorenzo, and this Lorenzo is in love with Jessica. So we have total 3 couples who are in love with each other. First one is Bassanio and Portia, second one is Graziano and Nerissa, and third one is Jessica and Lorenzo. Clear, students? I hope, students, you have understood their role in the play very well. So, student, this play has 5 acts, and every act has so many number of scenes. The first act has 3 scenes, and I am introducing you with the scene of Act 1 and Scene 1. In this scene, Antonio is standing with his friends Celerino and Solanio. So, students, let's start reading the summary of this scene. Antonio is speaking to his friends Celerio and Solanio. He explains that a sadness has come over him, and his friends suggest that the sadness could be due to his worry about his commercial ventures. Antonio says he is not worried about his ships because his goods are spread between them. If one went down, he would still have the others. His friends suggest that he must then be in love, but Antonio denies this. Bassanio, Lorenzo and Graziano arrive as Celerio and Solanio leave. Graziano tries to cheer him up but fails. Antonio asks Bassanio to tell him about the woman he has fallen for and intends to pursue. Bassanio first acknowledges that he has borrowed a lot of money from Antonio over the years and promises to clear his debts to him. Then Bassanio explains that he has fallen in love with Portia, the heiress of Belmont, but that she has other richer suitors. He wants to try to compete with them in order to win her hand, but he needs money to get there. Antonio tells him that all his money is tied up in his business and cannot lend to him, but that he will act as a guarantor for any loan that he can get. So, students, the first scene of the play introduces us to a world of wealthy upper class of Christian men who are living in Venice. Their conversation reveals that they are men of business who take great risk with money. This scene tells us about Antonio's love interest in Portia and Bassanio's concern for his friend. Now students, the next scene. This is the scene second of Act 1, in which you are seeing that Portia is with her maid Nerissa. So let's summarize this. This is the scene at Belmont. At Belmont, Portia complains to her lady-in-waiting, Nerissa, that she is weary of the world because as her dead father's will stipulates, she cannot decide for herself whether to take a husband. Instead, Portia's various suitors must choose between 3 chests, one of gold, silver and one of lead, in the hopes of selecting the one that contains her portrait. The man who guesses correctly will win Portia's hand in marriage, but those who guess incorrectly must swear never to marry anyone. Nerissa lists the suitors who have come to guess: a Napoleon prince, a Parisian count, a French nobleman, an English baron, a Scottish lord, and the nephew of the Duke of Saxony. And Portia criticizes their many hilarious faults. For instance, she describes the Napoleon prince as being too fond of his horse, the Parisian count as being too serious, the Englishman as lacking any knowledge of Italian or any of the other languages Portia speaks, and the German suitor of drunkenness. Each of these suitors has left without even attempting a guess for fear of penalty for guessing wrong. This fact reveals Portia, and both she and Nerissa remember Bassanio, who has visited once before as the suitor most deserving and worthy of praise. A servant enters to tell Portia that the Prince of Morocco will arrive soon, news that Portia is not at all happy to hear. So students, this scene introduces us Portia, the heroine of the play, and establishes the casket test through which she will find her husband. This scene also tells us that she likes Bassanio and she hopes to marry him. Now, the last scene of Act 1, which is the third scene. Here we find Shylock with Antonio and Bassanio. Let's summarize this. Shylock, a Jewish moneylender, agrees to loan Bassanio 3,000 ducats for a term of 3 months. Bassanio assures Shylock that Antonio will guarantee the loan, but Shylock is doubtful because Antonio's wealth is currently invested in business ventures that may fail. In the end, however, Shylock decides that Antonio's guarantee of the loan will be sufficient assurance and asks to speak with him. When Antonio arrives, Shylock, in an aside, confesses his hatred for the man. Shylock is also incensed by Antonio's frequent public denunciations of Shylock. Antonio makes it clear to Shylock that he is not in the habit of borrowing or lending money, but has decided to make an exception on behalf of his friend Bassanio. As he calculates the interest on Bassanio's loan, Shylock remembers the many times that Antonio has cursed him. Antonio responds that he is likely to do so again and insists that Shylock lend him the money as an enemy. Assuring Antonio that he means to be friends, Shylock offers to make the loan without interest. Instead, he suggests, seemingly in jest, that Antonio forfeits a pound of his flesh should the loan not to be repaid in due time. Bassanio warns Antonio against entering such an agreement, but Antonio assures him that he will have no trouble repaying the debt, as his ships will soon bring him wealth that far exceeds the value of the loan. So students, this scene introduces Shylock, who is the villain of the play. He is an arresting presence on the stage. We find him extremely shrewd when we see him making the bond signed by Antonio. So students, we have finished with the first act of the play. Now we will start the second act of the play. This act has 9 scenes. So let's start the first scene of Act 2. In Belmont, the Prince of Morocco arrives to attempt to win Portia's hand in marriage. The prince asks Portia not to judge him by his dark complexion, assuring her that he is as valorous as any European man. Portia reminds the prince that her own tastes don't matter, since the process of picking chests stipulated in her father's will makes the prince as worthy as any other suitor. With a lengthy proclamation of his bravery and heroism, the prince asks Portia to lead him to the caskets, where he may venture his guess. She reminds him that the penalty for guessing incorrectly is that he must remain unmarried forever. The prince accepts this stipulation and Portia leads him off to dinner. So students, here we find that the suitor, who is the suitor? The Prince of Morocco has arrived to win the hand of Portia, and Portia warns him that if he is unable to find the right casket, so he will have to remain unmarried throughout his life. But Prince chooses to qualify for the test, so that he wants to able to win Portia's hands. Now we will come to the next scene of the act. Here we are introduced with Lancelot Gobbo. I have told you that he is a servant of Shylock earlier. He struggles to decide whether or not he should run away from his master. Just when Lancelot determines to run away, his father, old Gobbo, enters. The old man is blind and he asks how to get to Shylock's house, where he hopes to find young Lancelot. Because his father does not recognize him, Lancelot decides to play a prank on him. He gives the old man confusing directions and reports that Lancelot is dead. When Lancelot reveals the deception, old Gobbo doubts that the man before him is his son. But Lancelot soon convinces his father of his identity. Lancelot confesses to his father that he is leaving Shylock's employment in the hopes of serving Bassanio. Just then Bassanio enters and the two plead with him to accept Lancelot as his servant. Bassanio takes several moments to understand their bumbling proposition, but he accepts the offer. Bassanio then meets Gratiano, who asks to accompany him to Belmont and agrees on the condition that Gratiano claim his characteristically vile behavior. Gratiano promises to be on his best behavior, and the two men plan a night of merriment to celebrate their departure. So here students, we are introduced with the servant of Shylock, who is unhappy with his master's ways. So he tries to work for Bassanio, and he and his father plead Bassanio that he should keep him in his service. Now we come to the third scene of this act. Shylock's daughter Jessica bids goodbye to Lancelot. She tells him that his presence made life with her father more bearable. Jessica gives Lancelot a letter to carry to Bassanio's friend Lorenzo, and Lancelot leaves almost too tearful to say goodbye. Jessica, left alone, confesses that although she feels guilty for being ashamed of her father, she is only his daughter by blood and not by actions. Still, she hopes to escape her damning relationships to Shylock by marrying Lorenzo and converting to Christianity. Students, in this act, we find that Jessica, who is the daughter of Shylock, wants to leave his father's home. Why she wants to leave his father's home? As she is unhappy with his father's ways. and she has a scheme, she has a plan to elope with Lorenzo, whom she is in love with, and she has a plan to convert into a Christian. Let's come to the fourth scene of the act. In this scene, on a street in Venice, Graciano, Lorenzo, Salerno and Solanio discuss the plan to unite Lorenzo with Jessica. Graciano frets that they are not well prepared, but Lorenzo assures the men that they have enough time to gather the necessary disguises and torch bearers. As they talk, Lancelot enters bearing Jessica's letter. Lorenzo bids Lancelot to return to Shylock's house in order to assure Jessica secretly that Lorenzo will not let her down. Lorenzo departs and Lorenzo orders his friends to prepare for the night's festivities. Celerino and Solanio leave, and Lorenzo relates to Graciano that Jessica will escape from Shylock's house by disguising herself as Lorenzo's torchbearer. Lorenzo gives Graciano the letter and asks Graciano to read it, then leaves excited for the evening's outcome. Here, students, we find that all the friends are making a plan that how they will help Jessica to leave his father's house. Now, so students, I hope you are able to understand the characters of the play Merchant of Venice very well. And I hope, students, you have clearly understood the story of the all three scenes of Act 1 and the 4 scenes of Act 2. As you know, this Act 2 has 9 scenes. So, in this class, we have covered the 4 scenes of Act 2, and in the next class, we will continue with the other scenes. Thank you.